We all can't wait to
Hi.
hear your story, Mary.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this platform, Tanya. Thanks a lot.
Well, we're
It
very
means a lot.
excited to have you here. I know that it can be a little bit scary to be speaking in front of so many people. So
I'm glad.
we are really excited to have you, and we
Thank
are
you.
really appreciative of your bravery and your courage in coming on and paying it
Oh,
forward
thank you so much. Thanks a
and,
lot. Thank
and
you.
being an IELTS hero and encouraging everybody who's watching, because you know the struggle with IELTS, right? It's not
I know, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
so before we talk about the IELTS, tell us a little bit
Mhm.
about your experience, your journey of becoming a nurse, and who or what inspired you to come to America.
Thank you. So I hail from India.
Mhm.
I did my college. I did
My university in 2008 to 2012, which was in Bangalore, which is in India again. I finished my nursing. Throughout my nursing period, even before that, I always dreamt of becoming an USRN. But unfortunately, we know how difficult it is a person, a nurse from India to achieve, at least to think about becoming an USRN. It's very difficult. That's when I decided of cracking IELTS and getting into UK at least.
Okay.
So I can at least be near to US. So yeah, not even close, but thing
Yeah.
is just to get to a better opportunity rather than yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, I did. That's when the hurdle of getting the IELTS started in my life, which I would say in 2013 something. Yeah, I just tried on writing multiple times, in fact, to get
Yeah.
this 7 bad score. And then, yeah, so the dream of becoming an USRN was always in back of my head. I would even say to my husband, because when I started going through the UK process, United Kingdom process, NMC process, I had this Saunders sixth edition book binded, spiral
Uh-huh.
binded, and kept in my luggage so that I thought someday
Oh,
I'll be able
wow.
to choose like Saran.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the dream was
I
always there, right?
yeah, I
Never,
had this
never
on the
left you, packed in your luggage.
yeah, packed in the luggage, and I had it my shelf even before somebody could say, "Come on, Mary, yes, you can do the NCLEX, and yeah, you can be in US." Yeah, I always had it in my mind, and yeah.
What is it about the American dream that was so appealing to you? What was it that you were looking for, that you were hoping for?
It's just a career opportunity. I think it's um, nowhere in the world we could find that. I'm being here in UK. Yes, you can get to that very slowly. But then people who are in US, when they speak to us, we know how far their depth is, the depth of knowledge, as well as the career progression that they have, the prospects that they have. It's really amazing than somebody who's not there. It's simply that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think that so many people who are watching, Mary, can relate to what you're saying, because I was actually speaking to a nurse from Nigeria yesterday, who we actually placed at a hospital client of ours in California. And she was saying that she came from Nigeria. She didn't have her bachelor's. She was working in a med surg unit, like a general ward. And she came to the US. She now has her bachelor's. She is now working in ICU. She's studying further. She wants to become a nurse practitioner, but she's currently now in ICU. She's just bought a house.
Mm-hmm.
She had a baby. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
her whole kind of life has just blossomed.
Yeah.
So I think, what you're saying now is just so valid for so many people who have that
Yeah.
dream. And I think
Exactly.
there really
Yeah.
is just the opportunity,
Yeah.
which,
Exactly. Yeah. Just looking for opportunity, I would say. Just
yeah,
knocking the doors
yeah,
constantly.
yeah. Want to
Yeah.
progress, want to go onward and upward, as they say.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us a little bit about your experience with the IELTS, your history with the IELTS.
Um, yeah. So IELTS, I did attempt my first IELTS in 2013. I should say my score now because it's really relevant. My
Okay.
speaking was 5, writing was 5.5, and listening was 7, I think. I was okay with listening right from the start. Reading was 6.5. I started my journey there.
Okay.
First attempt, heartbroken, didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I thought, no, I'll start working rather than just trying on IELTS, because it's not easy to afford IELTS right in the beginning. So yes, I thought I should work. Then I started working. After 4 months again, I attempted. The only increment in the score was from 5, it became to 5.5 speaking, but otherwise same, no changes in the score.
Okay.
Yes, again, I started working for a year. Again, I tried IELTS, failed again miserably.
Okay.
Yes.
Did the score go up? Did the score go up a little bit, or was it pretty much the same?
Pretty much the same. I wouldn't say that was a major change. It was a 0.5 increment, but no use. I can't apply for any country, or I can't do an application because it is just, marginal increase. After a year and a half, very disappointing. After failure, heartbreaking. After failure, like, you get into the point of thinking like, I'm no good for anything. That's what you think, right, in the beginning.
Yeah.
So then I took a training again in an institute, in a leading institute back home, which was a turning point in my life. And then, yes, I did. After that, after kind of 4 or 5 months of training there, which was in 2014, I came out with 7 individual band and overall 7.5.
Wow.
Which helped me, yes.
Wow, Mary, that's incredible. So how did you say 4 months that you spent?
Yes,
4 months.
Complete 4 to 5 months, I would say. Yeah, August, September, October, November, December. Yeah, 4 months.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 4
that's
months.
What an incredible achievement.
Thank
you. To go from the score where you were to that.
Exactly.
The UK
that's what
is
I'm
much
saying.
higher criteria that they require.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
How many hours a week would you say you spent on IELTS in those around 4 months?
I would literally say in a day, except from sleeping, pretty much I would spend the whole day for this.
Okay. So that's all you did was just IELTS at that time?
Yeah, just IELTS. I didn't do anything. I devoted my whole time. I was off from work. I thought I should be off from work and then invest on this, because there's no point, because I couldn't do. There can be people who can really balance this variable, but then I thought, no, I'm not getting into achieving the desired score or individual band what I was trying for, alongside with work, especially when we have this 12-hour shift. Back home in India, we don't have like 3 days in a week. No, we either work for 5 days or something like that. Okay. So I was pretty sure. I made a decision that I should be off work and I should get into IELTS study. So 4 months intensive, and pretty much 24/7. I would say I was just.
But you said an interesting thing, Mary, and I want to highlight that to everybody who's watching. You said, I made a decision.
Yes, it was.
I made a decision. And I think that is a really key thing for you to have said, and thank you for saying that, because I think that should hopefully resonate for a lot of people who are watching, and that's why you truly are an IELTS hero, because nobody says it's easy. You put in the work, you were all in, but the key is you made a decision. You made a decision, you were going to be committing to it, and you were dedicated, and then you did it.
Yeah. And I should also mention, the reason why it became a failure all 3 times was I didn't make a decision. It just goes A is equal to B, B is equal to C, and A is equal to C. I didn't make a decision. That then how should I study, or how much time should I devote? No, I didn't have plan all 3 times when I failed. Only when I failed the 3rd time, it just went into my brain. So I should have a definite plan of how I should, put in action. So that's when I cracked. Yeah, I think so.
So it was the decision, the plan, and then the action. What is that? There's a saying, I forget the actual wording. Doing the same thing again and again is some form of insanity. I can't remember the exact saying, but if you do the same thing and you do it in the same way and you expect the same result, that's the saying is that that's a form of insanity.
Yeah, it won't change. Yeah,
I
something like
forget
that.
the saying.
Yeah.
If anyone is watching knows that saying, then put it in the chat. Oh, I see we have a lot of people joining us. Yay, good. Good, we've got a lot of people that are really excited to hear your story. So Cindy's joining us. Justin is saying, congrats, Mary. Jeff is watching. Hi, Jeff.
Hi.
Jeff saying, wow. Mark is watching. Welcome, Mark.
Hi, everybody. Yeah.
Okay, so you got your score and then you were going to the UK, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then what happened next?
Thank you. So what I did was, another thing that I would like to say, people who are interested, my teachers in the institute, they encouraged me to take a double date, which is like, because it's pretty much difficult to get the dates. For example, if I fail in my exam today, and then to get a date, it takes almost 2 months or a month, which means I delay on my process, or otherwise I just forget what I learned, the kind of, readiness for the exam. It just, it gets lost eventually. So what my trainers or teachers encourage me to do, to take a double date, which means it gives you confidence. So this week I have an exam and another week.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, so if you write an exam today and you feel like, oh my God, I think I'm a little low in listening or reading or writing or something. So you think, okay, I can catch it next week. So you have kind of confidence or a backup plan. So it's always to have 2 dates together. So as per their instruction, I did take 2 dates, and thanks to universe, yes, I did. I was able to pass 2 exams. I did achieve this 7 band in 2 exams consecutive.
Do you remember that day when you got your result? What did it feel like? What was it like?
Yeah. I still remember December 26th, 2000.
You got the date.
Yeah. Date and time.
It was a big day.
20, I think. It was, Tanya. I don't have any words to explain, but yeah, it's just mesmerizing moment in my life.
Wow. Well, that's what we want for everybody in the group, right, Mary?
Yes.
So so thank you again for sharing your story, because that moment that you had is the moment that we want for everybody here. That's the reason why Mary's paying it forward today and sharing her story, because she so badly wants you to experience that joy and just pure excitement. Yeah. Okay, so then what happened? Tell us about the next journey.
Sorry. I just
No, don't say sorry.
Yeah. So what happened? So I came here. I was placed in a hospital, very good hospital, reputed one. I did enjoy working here, and then that was my 4th year, I think, when I simply browsed. I didn't know anything about US processing and NCLEX processing, nothing. And I simply browsed regarding how do I apply to US Board of Nursing and things. It just came up, social security number, and you can apply to certain boards without social security number. And that's when I simply started like that. And I'm here now, Tanya.
Wow. Isn't that amazing?
I started it slowly, thanks to my husband, who was there all through the time helping me. He didn't ask me, where are you going? What are you trying to do? Do you have, I didn't have anything, because India is a retrogress country for the visa. There's no hope that we would get somewhere anytime. But then, yes, it just started like that. And I have passed NCLEX, now IELTS, and yes.
Wow. And here you are today.
Yes, I am. Yeah. I have not missed any of your videos, I should say. But then today I am in front of you. I think it's just all dream, I would say. And thanks to universe yeah, I have not, since I'm being a part of Connetics, I have not missed any of your videos. But then
Oh.
now I'm just in front of you. It's just great.
Well, I couldn't be happier, Mary. I really couldn't be happier. That's what, as you might know, I was an immigrant myself. I know personally how hard this journey can be. And that's why we do this, because, we want to help. We want to help you. We want to pay it forward. We want to share information. That's why the IELTS support group was created. That's why it's a free group, because we know how hard it is, how, there's just so many obstacles, so many barriers, and it's just such a difficult journey. And we just want to make that difference.
It is, absolutely. It is, absolutely. There are
Yeah.
so many, people who have lost, who have failed in IELTS, I should say. We are just, it's just heartbreaking every time to just lose your marks, and maybe in point 0.5. Sometimes it's reading, sometimes it's writing, or speaking. So it's not easy. It's really difficult. But then the organized way, or otherwise you understand what the examiners expect, to know that and to implement that in your action.
Yeah.
Yes, that's all. It's all about it. Yeah.
Okay. So Mary, can you tell us any specific practical tips or pointers about the IELTS, of what helped you? Any specific things to share about what made the difference for you being able to pass and get the scores that you needed?
Very specifically, I should say, regarding writing, it was practice. It was just a literal practice. I would say at least 4 or 5 task ones per day. You just write it, and get corrected.
Okay, so
I have done that personally. Sorry?
So the repetition, just the continual practice, the continual repetition.
Exactly. Continue practice. Yeah, I would say that. The next, for speaking, I would say organizing your thoughts, which is really, really important. I lost all 3 times just because I couldn't organize my thoughts.
Okay.
Especially in part 3, when they ask you questions, they need to know that we are organized in our thoughts, and we recite out in that way, rather than just beating around bush or blabbering something. Just be exact to the point and organized.
Okay. So when you say organized in your thoughts, can you take us through what does that mean to you?
I would say, for example, I'll go with example, Tanya, if it's okay. Yeah. So maybe the question would be, what are the advantages and disadvantages of learning a new skill? So if that's the question, then I would organize as first advantages. I would say primarily, otherwise first I'm going to speak about advantages, and then I'll go into the first point.
Okay.
Learning skills, first point would be a sense of achievement or accomplishment. I go with the first point, say the first point, and then elaborate on that.
Okay.
Second, then I would put secondly, or otherwise next advantage would be, kind of organizing a first, second, third, and then elaborating on that, rather than just going and saying, so there are so many, yes, you can start by saying there are so many advantages of learning new skill. First among that is, and then I would explain.
Okay. Okay. So that's helpful, Mary, because I think that it's kind of like the strategies. What you're speaking about there is the strategies, right, of how to approach it. It's the same as when you write the NCLEX exam. You need to learn specific strategies, and that's something that you have to learn it, and then you have to practice it.
Yeah. Yes. One other thing is that I would like to share is, when I was back home, as I told, when I was a student in that institute, and then I got passed out there, I was appointed as a trainer there to help students who were doing their IELTS training. So when I was appointed as a trainer, then I was taught in depth to see what to expect from the examiners.
Okay.
So that is when I understood, these are the things that the examiners are looking for, a little bit at least. I was able to help so many of my friends.
Okay. Okay, good. So any other thoughts of what the examiners are looking for, or any other practical tips that you might want to share with anybody who's watching?
These are the things I would say, either writing or speaking. Don't make it so complicated. We don't want anything complicated. Make it as simple as that. I would say I was a person who used to use complicated words, very high vocabularies, something like that. But then it's not what they require. It's just a simple English, which is put in simple sentences sometimes. And then, clear clarity in everything. Each and every sentence must be clear as enough. That's the criteria that they're looking for. Marking anything above 6 or 6.5 and above, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So clarity, and I think a lot of people can relate to that as well, because sometimes we're so in our head. And there's just like a jumble in there. We just have that like internal chatter that to be organized and to keep it simple is good advice.
Yes.
Yeah, very helpful. Okay, so we have a lot of people that are watching. Dor France is watching, saying congratulations. Eljon, congratulations, Mary. Blessie's watching. Janelle is watching. Hi, Janelle. Milanis, awesome tips. Cindy is saying, congratulations, Mary. You deserve it. You do deserve it, Mary. And Ren is saying, I wish to do good as well. Ren, I'm sure you will do. I think the key point is
everybody can.
Everybody can. I mean, if Mary went from the score that she went to the score that she eventually achieved, remember the UK is a higher criteria than the US. I mean, it's possible, right?
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And the recent one, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the very recent, which I have taken IELTS, which was last month, June 20th, exactly. What was in my mind was for a US for CGF and visa screen. What I took IELTS last month. What I had in my mind was to think and to learn what I learned before. After my failure, immediately after my failure, what kind of strategies I had in my head to pass IELTS. I had in my head, and I just implemented it, I should say. So what I'm trying to say is, failure is inevitable. However, you got to be a part of failure before success. Get failed, learn from that, and then crack on it. And the lessons that you learn from your failure will always remain in your head, no matter what.
Very wise words, Mary. You are truly an IELTS hero. That I think what you say is really just so valid, and so helpful for so many people. Arlene is saying, wonderful tips to follow. Congratulations, Mary. Chriselle is watching. This is our IELTS support group is really just that. It's free to everybody. The strategies are in there. Swoosh are putting those strategies in there every day. Please make the decision like Mary did. Make the decision. And then it's all about practice, because these are skills. You can learn it.
Yes.
Any final words, Mary?
I would say, if I would like to add this for so many people who I can help you with, I should say that, again, I repeat, once you get on that failure, crack it, win it. But then the lessons that you learn from this victory and failure will remain throughout your life, no matter what, no matter where you go and where you live. It just stays with you, because those are the lessons that we learn, which is embedded in your heart and your brain from this failure and this victory. So just go for it. You can do it.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mary. That's so encouraging. I'm reminded of Oprah. I love Oprah. She's like my best, my favorite. And Oprah always
my favorite as well.
Oh, she also, I love her. She's changed my life. And she always says, no experience is lost, even if it's a failure. It doesn't matter. That's why the IELTS support group is your soft place to land. It's your place to practice. It's your place not to be perfect. It's your place to make the decision, though, and learn the skills. So I hope everybody will take Mary's advice, make the decision, practice, 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 put in place the strategy, and hopefully you will be an IELTS hero and be on the interview where you're going to be paying it forward and sharing your story with everybody. So thank you, Mary.
So much, thanks a
we
lot.
are so happy for you. Truly, you deserve every success. You've worked so hard, and we wish you every success going forward. And we can't wait to see you in the US. And thank you for sharing your story. And for those of you watching, please tag your friends. That's your way of paying it forward. Please tag your friends. Make sure that everybody has seen Mary's interview so that they can get encouraged. We're paying it forward for you. Mary's paying it forward for you. Now it's your turn to pay it forward for others. So if they have not yet joined the IELTS, the Connetics Swish IELTS support group, please make sure that they do so. If they need to pass the IELTS, it is totally free. This is information to help you to pass the IELTS so that you can become an IELTS hero like Mary and live your American dream.
Thank you so much, Tanya. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mary. It was an absolute pleasure speaking to you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Tanya.
Bye-bye.